Morning, folks. It's me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots channel. Devoted Patriots 2, should I say. I'm over here on the YouTube, but I'm also over on the Rumble. Same name, one word, Devoted Patriots, TOO. Come check it out. I've got about 4 or 5 videos over there. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. I did one over there about Jamal Khashoggi and Twitter. Pretty interesting video, very informative about the bees and the bots. Go check that one out. That's a good one. Let me just get into some headlines here because I'm running a little bit late this morning. Not too much commentary, just a little bit of headlines and some links down below so you can read some of these articles yourself. But there has been a lot said in the last couple of days behind this whole gun rights fight now because of this mass shooting. Matter of fact, I threw out a video yesterday where Beto O'Rourke was basically blaming Ted Cruz for the mass shooting, of all things, after he showed up and just paid his disrespect to the whole situation. Had the parents of these children in Uvalde, Texas, having like a press conference with Abbott and several of our Texas representatives. And Beto O'Rourke showed up and started screaming about policy. What a sicko. I don't know what to say about it other than there's a better time and place for such things. And it's not... He reminded me of like a wedding crasher or a funeral crasher, somebody that shows up with their own views, only there for their own spouting information. Just disgusting. Won't get into it any more than that, but how dare him? And I thought, well, there's one crazy showing their true colors. Next thing you know, I'm reading on the Gateway Pundit and I see Barack Obama's doing pretty much the same thing. He's got all kinds of comments as well. Barack Obama says, to the Uvalde parents that are mourning, don't forget about George Floyd. Don't forget about George Floyd. We got to remember to mourn him too. Are you kidding me? That shows you where he's at, where his mind is at, and how he feels about the whole situation. That says enough for me. Just trying to push their own agendas during before there's even been funerals. That is just sad. That shows you that these supposedly men don't act like men; they act like children, selfish little children. Just my opinion. But at any rate, now I just want to say, if the cops weren't defunded and the teachers and the teachers and the principals had the option to have trained officers or be able to carry guns on the campuses, in a lot of situations, this stuff would not happen. These mass shooters tend to target places where there are zero gun tolerance zones, like a lot of schools. Now, some schools here in Texas, the teachers are packing and certified, and some schools here in Texas, they've got cops that are actually on duty on the campuses. So for the places that do not have any option to have trained officers or gun trained teachers on hand, that is part of the problem as well. You can't prevent a problem if you do not have a countermeasure if something does go bad. And the reason there is no countermeasure in a lot of these places is because the Democrats have fought hard to make sure that it wasn't available. And that's what I'm seeing here on Newsmax. I knew this already, but it's just more confirmation. The BLM Marxists are spouting off on Twitter about the anniversary of George Floyd's death. They're just throwing a fit. They're over there doing their Black Lives Matter is the most important thing, blah, blah, blah. I don't really want to get into it. They must need some more money. They must be needing to buy some more properties or something, get out there and screaming in the street for, I guess, for donations. They're the most violent charitable organization that doesn't benefit hardly anybody I've ever seen. Mostly just an arm of the left and the Democratic Party, as far as I can tell. And that's about all I really want to say about. I really don't even like talking about BLM. They're just disgusting too. No offense, but yeah, they're disgusting. Now, Rodney Jaffe, who is so much involved in this Durham probe, he is one of the culprit liars, alleged liars, and It says Jaffe is now considered the Christopher Steele of the Alpha Bank narrative. He's the one that pushed the Alpha Bank garbage about Trump and was one of the FBI's main sources, and was fired as an FBI source as well. And it looks like he will probably be having to answer some questions before long in the hearing over there. And we're not talking just average questions. We're talking about who created the lie kind of questions, and that's what I want to see. I see the FBI is backpedaling and blaming everybody but themselves. It ain't our fault. It wasn't us. We just carried the water. You know how that goes. I did see Oklahoma governor signed a bill banning nearly all abortions in the state of Oklahoma. Great news, great news. They're tired of all these people from these other states showing up because, like Texas has stopped most abortions here. So a lot of the people in Texas that are wanting abortions have been running up to Oklahoma. Well, that just came to a screeching halt. Glad to see it. Now, let me go ahead and get into one more article for you here that I wanted to tell you all about. I don't really want to say a whole lot about it. It says this is about the 2000 Donkeys movie. You know, there's a lot of fact checkers out there that are trying to throw mud, smear, and say that there's no credibility in what happened in the movie. And they're trying to say that there's no way that the cell phone pings and all that stuff was real. They're just basically saying it was a narrated part of the movie, added in type thing. It wasn't actual video footage. Well, the wireless service, one of the wireless services that helped with, didn't help, but was used during the finding out about the pings on the phones and everything with the backpack bandits. Well, the CEO says all these ignorant attacks by these fact checkers on the movie, the fact checkers don't have the technical foundation for the comments they're making. Basically, he's calling them out. He's saying they're wrong. They don't know a dang thing. Truth be known, the CEO says, "Yeah, this is credible. This is credible." And let me go ahead and read a little bit of it. See what I can get away with. It says, with the release of the movie, patriots around the country are seeing the truth about the obvious fudge that was caught on video at designated boxes. The camels, the donkeys, whatever you want to call them, are those who were doing the nasty with the boxes, and we all know about that. You got to get into that part of it. But let me see here. This Patriot Joe Brandis, who has been investigating Michigan since the 2020 with the Citizens of Election Integrity Group, and his teams continue to discover more and more footage of the bandits dumping the backpacks, and in Detroit as well. In Detroit, and there's an article over here about it on the Gateway, and there's actually a link as well. It says Dinesh D'Souza's movie exposed shocking amounts of evidence. This shows what happened in Arizona and several battleground states, and it's irrefutable evidence of what really happened. And I can't say all the little words they want to throw in there, but I just want to give a great shout out to Catherine Engelbert and Greg Phillips for their efforts, and Dinesh D'Souza for their efforts to expose all of this stuff. You know, they can't discredit Greg Phillips. He is a lifelong intelligence expert. So for them to try to say that anything is anything other than what it is, they're just wrong. They're just fact checking. They're attempting to be a fact checker. You know, they're about as credible as the fact checkers on Twitter, as far as I'm concerned. Since the release of the movie, the fact checkers have attempted to refute the findings in the video footage accumulated in the movie to discredit the project. The following its release, its so-called fact checker immediately went on the debunking game, and they tried to claim basically that, well, PolitiFact and Associated Press led the charge, with many other outlets that ran basically the same story. That actually the articles are almost identical. and it looks like they were actually coordinated. The facts are, and the data that they used to attempt to discredit D'Souza and True the Vote are laughable and are thin, and simply are so not true. Red State reported on the major arguments on the liberal mainstream media against the film. It should be noted that the hit piece published in the mainstream media were not intended to find the truth, but only to discredit the shocking findings presented in the film. Of course, they're not trying to look at the whole of the picture. They're trying to pick it apart in hopes that they can find something that is not 100% credible that way and go, oh, it's a fake, it's a conspiracy. Well, it's not going down like that. And even experts are saying, yeah, this stuff's real. Well, experts say cell phone location data, even at its most advanced, can only reliably track a smartphone within a few meters, not close enough to know whether someone actually dropped off the papers or not, or just walked or drove by. Well, they're finding out this is absolutely not true. Let's see here. It says places in the Washington Post and the New York Times articles characterize cell phone location data as quite specifically and reliable. For example, on May 4th, the Washington Post article stoking fears that the patriarchy could use cell phone data to determine who got an abortion should an abortion become illegal in some states. They have absolute ability to track these phones. They have for 15 or 20 years, and to say that it ain't possible, or it could be somebody else, or the ping is not accurate. Come on, man, I use my GPS every day, and it takes me right to the very spot where I need to go. So this is just garbage on their part. But Volta Wireless provided software and services to stop network operators from tracking your location, identity communication, internet activity, and more. On Tuesday, the Gateway Pundit spoke to Volta's founder, David Sinclair. And he says, so the media is well aware of the usefulness and capability of geo-tracking, and their own reports explain and promote the technology as well. Even the New York Times admit that they used geo-tracking in the past to find and identify the J6 protesters as well. So to say this is not possible, it could possibly be somebody else, even the cell phone CEOs are saying, no, that's not how it works. The cell phone ping is pretty darn accurate. And the truth of the matter is, it wasn't even about how accurate the cell phone ping was. They follow these people from box to box to box to box to box. And there's no feasible reason for any human being to be frequenting these boxes all day and all night. And no matter what you say about the cell phone ping and all that stuff, it's a fact. These people were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing, and they got caught on film, and it's documented video footage, and there is no denying it with a fact checker trying to unravel this thing with some details. It's just not working. That's all I really got for you this morning, folks. I do want to let y'all know this is encouraging with the runoffs. I hate to see Raffensperger get his spot back in Georgia. It looks like a lot of the Democrats have probably voted for Raffensperger. That seems to be the consensus, considering they had no contender on the Democrat side against Stacey Abrams. So all of Stacey Abrams' choosers could have possibly, this is unalleged, could have possibly voted for their preferred Republican to be the contender against their preferred Democrat. No need to vote for Stacey if she's already got the ticket. So they went ahead and voted on our side against the better of the two, is the allegations. And I could see that happening because in Georgia, you can be a Democrat and vote Republican, or be a Republican and vote Democrat. And it's just, I don't understand why they allow such things. Maybe that's a Stacey Abrams sweet deal that I don't know about. But that's what's really going on as far as the allegations are going. But let me just say this. This is the good news. This says something about the direction our country is going in. And I'm not talking about our economy. I'm talking about the results of these selections. Trump, if whether you like him or not, he is at about 100%. He's at 99 or 98% success rate with his putting people in place with his endorsement. So if Trump endorses you, most guaranteed to be on the ticket and win your race. That says a lot for Trump. Not that he picked the best people on the first go around, but because people know he cares more about our country than anybody in the Democratic Party, people trust him, even though he's made mistakes in the past behind his picks. I think he's a little wiser now, and I think people trust him over anybody else in the country as far as who's the best America First person to pick, and it's showing. So we've got 100 plus people that have gotten their job with Trump's endorsement in just the last 2 weeks, and that is great, great news. While at the same time, he's only lost a couple, and we can't say exactly why yet. But hopefully we'll be able to get into that on Rumble one of these days here real soon. But Joe Biden, 81 million votes. Joe Biden, nobody wants him. Beto O'Rourke says, "No, I don't need you campaigning for me." Stacey Abrams, "No, I don't need you campaigning for me." So we've got 81 million votes, resident in chief, that nobody, not even his own party, wants him to show up and put his arm around him and do the old scratch and sniff and the whole endorsement thing. Nobody in the Democratic Party wants the leader of their party for his endorsement. Joe Biden is now a death sentence to your candidacy. Most of the Democrats are trying to back away from Dementia Joe when it comes to running these races, because there's not a darn thing this guy has done to help our country, and they know it as well as the Republicans. So it looks like we've got 98%, almost 100% endorsement approval, supported by the people from the past president, versus Sippy Cup Joe, that nobody wants to show up, and definitely nobody wants his endorsement. Not any of the Democrats are looking forward to Joe showing up and patting him on the back and going, "Vote for this guy." That tells a huge story about the future of the Democratic Party. They've got nobody over there, not one single person over there that is good for the party, who is a spokesman for the party, who is great for the endorsement of the wackadoodle lefties. They have no one. And I don't know if y'all realize that, but this is going to cause, which it's already started at 102 to 3 success rate by Trump. This has already started an America First push in all these states with these down ballot races, and I am just glad to see it. We need great governors in every state, great secretary of states, great attorney generals, and the only way to get it is to vote every chance you get. When it's time to vote in your state, please get out there and do your due diligence and make your mark, and make sure these lefties and these rhinos do not control our country, starting ASAP. Like, subscribe, and share to Vote a Patriot. That's all I got for you. I'll leave a couple links down below to a couple of these crazy stories going on this morning. Check them out. Over and out.